All right, guys, we're going to get started. It's 1, and welcome to our System Sessions training today. I have asked Phoebe to come in and do another Matterport training. So, Phoebe, take it away.
Okay. Well, for those of you that don't know, this is the Matterport system, and when you check it out from Maine, I'm not familiar with the prices, but Christina over at the Maine office could tell you what the prices on it are. You'll want to pick up the tripod that's in the bag there on the floor, as well as the big case. It's hard to see. The big case, and it'll have the camera and the iPad in it. And when you get to your house or condo that you're going to Matterport, you're going to want to set up your tripod, and you'll want to set it up with the legs not quite fully extended, because you're going to want your camera just a little bit lower, so that when you capture your photos, this camera takes really great still photos for your listings. So you not only get a virtual tour, you get all your photography with it as well. So you're going to want to set the tripod up just a little bit shorter than full length. And then you'll clip the camera. I'll undo it so you can see. It's got a clip on top of the tripod, and then it's got a square thing that fits right inside the tripod. So you just slide it in there. Somehow. There we go. And then you slide that little orange clip over until you hear it click, and then you kind of just check it to make sure it's good and secure on there. And then on the back side, you've got a button that checks the battery, and then you've got an on and off button. So we just hit the on button, and it'll start firing up. You can watch the progress of that in this little LED screen right here, or LCD screen, whatever you want to call it. And then while your camera is warming up, you will turn on the iPad that is with the system. And we actually just bought a new iPad, so this is the old one. We'll have a new one as soon as I can get a case for it. And generally, your camera will automatically connect to the iPad, because it's been used with it before. But if for some reason it doesn't, the camera and the iPad work together on their own Wi-Fi. So you'll just hit the systems. It's really hard to see. There's a little bit of a glare, but if you're familiar with Apple products at all, there's a little systems button that you can go into for settings and such. And just tap on, whoop, there we go. Tap on the Wi-Fi, which you can't really see it, but there's a Wi-Fi function. Click on that, and you'll see that it's already connected to the Matterport. Let's see if I can get that a little closer. Oh, there we go. You'll see that it's connected to the Matterport camera. And if it's not, then you can choose it. They'll have a list of things that you can choose from. You'll see right there is the Krantz Suite and some other things that you could pick from. But you're going to want to pick the one that says Matterport, and then make sure that they're connected. And when this little light turns orange, you're ready to roll. So you'll go back, and you will tap on the screen the Matterport. It's called Capture. So you'll tap the Matterport Capture app, and it'll pop up, and you will go to the, there it is, maybe. You'll go to the plus, like you're going to start a new show, and then you'll put in the street address of wherever. It's really hard to see, but you'll put in the street address of your showcase, of your home or condo, whatever you're going to Matterport. So we'll just say we're at 3531 Osage Beach Parkway. That's not really where we are, but that's what popped up, so I'm going to take it. And you can fill out the rest of the information here as far as can't see it. I don't know why I keep trying. But anyway, you can just type in the address. You don't have to fill anything else out unless you just want to. And then you'll tap Save in the upper right-hand corner, and then you'll be ready to go. So what I do when I go into a property is I start at the front door. You can start anywhere you want. but I choose the front door because it seems like the right place to start. So I set it right in the front door, and I always face the camera away from me and pointing into the room, and then tap the round button, and that will engage the camera to start scanning. So whatever is in the eye of the camera is what's going to be in your showcase. So if you have, sometimes there are actually people at home around here. I know that's weird for around here, but sometimes it happens. Most of the time you go into a place and there's no one there, but sometimes there are people there. You'll need to shoo them out of the room because according to matrix rules, you can't have any faces in your virtual tours. So you'll need to shoo people out of those rooms or ask them to leave completely, I mean, in a really nice way. And then you can do your scanning. But you'll start at the front door, you'll do the first scan, and let's see, can I get a little closer? You'll see that it starts building the model. And it's hard to tell what anything is right now, but right here is the conference table. And this is probably, right now it's just white space, but, and so you'll then move the camera. You'll pick it up and carefully move it about 6 to 10 feet. And for training purposes, I'll just leave it right here, but you'll just pick it up and move it. And when I'm scanning, I pick it up and move it. I always kind of stand behind it and I think in terms of pictures, like what do I want to see in a picture? So say there's in front of the camera, there's a huge wall of glass. So I try to center my camera on the peak of that glass, the center of the glass, because I'm thinking in terms of frames for pictures. And so I wouldn't want a picture of a living room with a beautiful wall of windows if it was off center, because I'm a little bit OCD like that. So I try to always center things. And I think it makes a great picture too if things are symmetrical. So you'll move the camera and then you'll just keep going. So you'll push this again, it'll scan again. It scans 360 degrees and then it scans 180 degrees this way. So whatever is there is what's going to get captured. So you'll just keep going until you get to through the entire home. Some tips would be when you go into a bedroom or another room, you'll want to scan in the doorway and then maybe a foot or two inside the doorway. And that allows the tour to move smoothly, because if you're out away from the door and then you come in the door, the camera might not be able to see what it last scanned. So when you go through doorways, you're going to want to do 2 or 3 scans so that you can make those transitions. A customer that's looking at your showcase can make those transitions in and out of rooms easily. And so you'll want to, when you go into a bedroom, then you'll want to scan in the door and then just right inside the door. And then you'll want to get like 3 or 4 in the corners so that you have good pictures. Always think in terms of pictures of those rooms. So bathrooms are going to be a little more difficult. There's a way to go in and mark mirrors and windows. I don't usually mess around with windows, but if there's a mirror, I definitely go in and mark it. So you would just tap that little line thing right here. You would tap that and choose mirror. It looks like a mirror, whereas that one's got like panes in it, so that's a window. So you just tap the mirror and then you would draw on the show wherever the mirror was. And it's got arrows on it. You're going to want to point those arrows into the room instead of out of the room. And mirrors are important because if you don't mark them, the camera thinks that there's another room back there. So in the stitching process, when you do all of your scans in a home, the stitching process is going to be confused because it's going to think there's another room back there. So always mark your mirrors. You don't have to mark itty bitty tiny ones, but big mirrors, bathroom mirrors, Especially in condos. If they have a whole wall of mirrors, you're going to want to mark those mirrors. And when you mark them, you can actually zoom. Whoops, let me get rid of that. You can actually zoom in on the iPad and see exactly where your mirror goes. And you're going to want to try to mark it as accurate as possible so that the camera is really very sophisticated, and it knows if it's not marked correctly, and you will get an error message telling you that something's not right. And so you're going to want your mirrors. Mirrors are important. Windows, not so much, but mirrors for sure. The scanning process is really the easy part. It's just picking up the tripod and moving it. When you go downstairs or upstairs, you're going to want to scan on every third or fourth stair. And then when you get to the bottom or the top, you're going to want to add a floor. With that, whoops, right there. There's an add a floor feature. And it'll ask you if you want to add a floor, and you just say yes, add a new floor. And then you can continue right on scanning. If you don't add a floor, when you go downstairs or upstairs and you're scanning on that new floor, but you didn't add a floor, your scans are going to start stacking on top of each other. And it's not going to work. And you'll have to go through and delete all those scans on that new floor, go back, add a floor, and then start scanning again. So if you can't really do too many scans. They say a maximum is 200. Usually for, say, a 1,200 square foot condo, you're probably going to do 40 scans maybe. If you're in a 8,000 square foot home, you might have close to 200 scans. I always tell whoever's scanning for the Krantz team, you can't have too many scans, because the more scans you do, the more photo options that you have. So let me think. Some other tips. Okay, so say you want to go outside and you want to scan a deck, you want to scan the driveway and show the front of the house. Matterport's made that really easy to do that with this same camera. And on here, you would just go up to options and you would choose 360 capture. And then you could take it outside anywhere you wanted to go and take a scan. I've even gone down on docks. I've gone, yes, by the pool, out the front door, out the back door, in basements, in attics, in garages. Anything that you think might help showcase your property best, you can 360 degree scan it, capture it. Is what it's called, 360 capture. So then on the back side, and I'll show you how to get those pictures and things that you'll need for your tour. And then when you go back inside the house, just make sure that you go back and hit options again and go back to 3D scan. Otherwise, you're going to be doing 360s inside the house, and they're great, but they're not part of the tour.
Mark just asked if there is a way that we can use Matterport for just pictures and not virtual tours.
Yes, absolutely. You would not have to post the virtual tour link. You could just pull the pictures off of it. And then I think probably the price would still be the same. I don't know for sure, because you're still using the camera and you're still using the cloud to host your showcase. But yeah, you could definitely just not post the link on Matrix. I don't know why you wouldn't want to, because these tours are really cool in my opinion. But so that's basically it. You scan. You'll have to hide every time you scan, because like I said, whatever the camera sees is what's going to be in your tour. So I have been in closets. I've been hiding behind cabinets. If you crouch down low enough and get underneath the tripod, you won't be seen down there either, which works good on stairs. But it's kind of one of those, what you see is what you get. So I always go through and I fluff pillows, I put down toilet seats, open or close blinds, depending on what I think looks nice. But there is a little bit of staging. I'll put dirty dishes in the dishwasher and just try to make it look nice because these are your photos if that's what you're going to use this for. So anyway, you'll continue scanning. You'll continue doing your 360-degree photos. And then when you get all done, you'll just hit the back button. And then when you get, you'll pack up. When you get back to the main office, you'll go back into that tour. And by then your camera will, or your iPad will have connected to the Remax Wi-Fi. You'll hit upload. And I always wait to make sure that the show completely uploads before I leave Maine, because sometimes if the iPad goes to sleep or somebody comes along and messes with it, it could compromise it, and I'm OCD like that. So I just stay until it's done. And then the nice thing to do is to delete your old show. So if it's got the little cloud picture in the corner, excuse me, those can all be deleted. And that just makes it nice for the next person that comes along, that they don't have your show in the way, because the iPad only has so much memory. So it's just nice to delete your stuff off there. And then on the back side, you'll go to my.matterport.com. And it will take probably several hours, depending on how big your house or condo was. It'll take several hours for it to render. But then you can go in and get your link and capture all your pictures. And I don't know, would that be another class to do all that on the back side?
Yeah, or I can pull it up.
Oh, yeah, we can pull it up. It's super easy.
I mean, I don't know how long it takes, but we can definitely.
Yeah, it's super easy to do. They've made it almost foolproof.
Yeah, sure.
You can just get rid of that. I don't know what that is.
Go back into maybe. All right.
Okay. So on the back side, you've got our Matterport account, and you can actually go in to our account and set yourself up. Okay, you can go in actually and set yourself up a login, and that will help you out when you go to get your pictures, because they'll come directly to you instead of going over to Maine.
You can make that bigger too if you need to.
Oh, okay.
I think it'll work.
Okay. So you can go in, let's see. Maybe it's under manage. Nope. Nope. Oh, down here. I can't see. Here we go again. I should have brought my glasses. Ding dong. Okay, oh, here we go. So you can click right here and invite yourself, and you would just go in and put your email address and change this to an admin. And then when you get your pictures, they will go directly to your email address instead of to Maine. So the login for the Remax Lake of the Ozarks Matterport, the website is my.matterport.com. And the login is remaxloto@gmail.com. And the password is capital REMAXLOTO. So it's Remax Loto with a capital R. And then you can invite yourself, and then you can sign in as yourself. And you'll love yourself when you do that. Otherwise, you're going to be bugging everybody for your pictures. So let me go back to our spaces. Maybe. And you'll see that people have made their own folders for their spaces. You can make yourself a folder if you like. But you come down to your, and the new shows that have just been done are all going to populate down here at the bottom. So you'll just go over, say that's your Point Snelling, that's your house. You just go to actions and say move to folder and then choose your folder to pop it in there. So we'll just go into the crayons folder and pick a show. This is one that I actually did the other day. So I probably do too many scans, but I don't know. I like scanning, so, but it offers me a lot of options when it comes to pictures, so I'm happy with it. So if you open it up, eventually, you get a nice bird's eye view of the floor plan. But then everywhere you see a white dot, that's where I scan. So you can use your arrow keys on the keyboard to go through them, and then the arrow keys to spin. And you see how I centered myself on that wall? Because that's a pretty good shot of the living room. Mm-hmm. If you just keep going, you'll see the kitchen, and you'll see both of the stairs. So when I did this, I could have added a floor here and a floor here, but because there was below this all one level to me, I just scanned it as all one level, and then when I went downstairs, I added a floor. Mm-hmm. So you can do it however you want. You can add a floor here and add a floor here, it doesn't matter. I have used the camera enough, I'm familiar with what I can do and what I can't do. But let me show you a little thing that I tried to do that I didn't get away with. The camera is smart. Once you get to scanning, you can't move anything. So you'll get a error message on the iPad that says something has moved. Your scan was not successful. So in this room right here, I scanned right outside the door, and then I went just right inside the door. And if you look right back here, there's a bathroom. Mm-hmm. So I tried to set that door, the bedroom door, in a way where I could get around it and get inside the bathroom to scan. And I tried it, but it wouldn't let me get behind the door. It kept saying that I had moved the door. So there are some things that you're just not going to be able to get to. This was kind of a wonky. You can see both doors are stacked together right there. There are just some things that you're not going to be able to get. So I just took my cell phone and I took a horizontal photo of this bathroom. And it just has to work because there was just no way I could get in there. But
did you add that picture or something?
I did. I added it to Matrix. So when you go to pull picture, pull your show up, and then you're going to go to edit up here in the upper right hand corner. Excuse me, I got a tickle. Let me get out of the drink. And you're going to go over here to the camera thing, the icon for the camera, and you can find your best view of a photo. So I was capturing photos for Matrix. I would think that you can see the doors on there, which is why I always go in bed. I go into the next step. It'll go. Well, maybe it won't go. And then I always use this here. You can see kind of in this. Oh, that's cool. There. Okay. So this is a nice photo to me. It showcases the bedroom. It doesn't show that bathroom, but it is what it is. So, but you're showing that you got a closet, a nice window, you got a pretty good sized bed in there, and then you just click that camera, and it takes you want it for it. Don't try to speed ahead and go on past it because it won't take it. But you'll click the camera, and then eventually it will say, and this computer is ancient, but normally it's pretty quick. It'll say photo saved, and then you can move on. But you'll do this throughout your entire showcase. You'll clip photos of whatever you see that you like. And then those are the photos that you're going to end up with. So you'll do that throughout the entire property. And this one is taking a long time. Technology, gotta love it. I don't know if I can get out of it. You can also set your start point. I'm gonna wait for this for just a second. You can set your start point here, and that sets where your showcase starts. If you click on this one, that shows all of your scans, and you can hide scans. If you took a scan and you realize that your foot was in it, or the cat was in it, or something, or a homeowner says, you know what, that room that you scanned, it's got a picture of my kid in it, and I don't want my kid on there. So you can go in and you can hide scans just by clicking on the little eyeball.
That's nice.
So, and I've had homeowners say, I don't want my kids in the video. Well, take your pictures down, but they don't. So you just go in and you hide the scans. Your start point, I always like to start at the front door, but you can start anywhere. But you just figure out where in the show that you want this computer's terrible, where you want to show, and you hit your start point, and then you hit set. And that's where the show will start. You can also label things. I don't know, say there was an elevator right here. You could click on it and say, you'd have to hit add and say this was a nest there. Oh boy. Just jump. Okay. Never mind that. Say there was an elevator right here. You could click that, and you could drop a label on there and say elevator. Or in the kitchen, you could drop it where the kitchen went. You could drop it and say Thermador refrigerator or whatever, if you wanted to label things. I don't ever mess with that, but you can. It can be done. This is a cool feature. It's for measuring. Let me get out of here. If somebody calls and says, hey, I'm looking at this house, how wide are windows in the front living room? You could get away from the windows, back up it, spin around, and you could measure those windows. So you just click there. You would hit add a measurement, and then you would click. Oh, brother, this computer is terrible. Okay, on a normal computer, you would be able to draw a line across that window, and it would tell you how big that window is. Okay, that's kind of a cool feature. You can also, and I've done this before, you can also put in a matter tag. And a matter tag will, it's kind of like a label where you can label things, but you can also put a link in it. So say you have a virtual tour, but you also have like a drone video. Well, on Matrix, you can only add one tour, one virtual tour. So you can go in with matter tag, and you can drop a matter tag. Work on this computer. You can drop a matter tag, and you can say, check out the drone video or something like that. Video, and then you could add the hyperlink, paste your link in there for your drone video, say it's on YouTube or whatever. You can paste that in there and then save it. And then if I have a drone video that I'm linking to my Matterport, I put those little dots on several of the exterior doors because they'll show up and you can pick your color and that sort of thing. And then eventually, you know, whoever's looking at this tour is going to click on one of those, if nothing else, out of sheer curiosity. So you can do that. Your 360s at this home, I didn't take any 360s because it was raining. Does that matter, Tag? Okay. But if I had a 360, it would click here and all of the 360-degree views that would be here. And you would just, you click on one and then it would open up and then you could add it to your highlight reel. Or you could open it up, find a good picture, click on your camera and take a picture from it. And then that highlight reel will populate up down the bottom. When someone clicks on your virtual tour, highlight reel that pops up and it will show all those really neat, I'll show you one in a different tour. But once you get all done with all your pictures, you just can't, and you will want to say publish. I'm not going to publish this one because this is already done. But you would say publish and then exit. Am I going too long? Okay. And then there we go. You can also fill in all of your details. We at the Crayons team always fills in all the details as much as possible because we share the branded link on our Facebook page, and when you share the branded link, all of your information comes up in the corner of that showcase. So if someone wanted to get a hold of you, they would know how. So we put in the address, we put in who we are, we put in the link to our website, to that listing, we put in our phone number and our email address. You can also go down and you can set this up for if somebody were in their car. This would be like a GPS link, Merlin Drive, Camdenton. And then save. That way, if they're in their car and they're looking on, God forbid, Zillow, this virtual tour would pop up. They could click on that and drive by the house and see what it looks like. So to get all of your pictures then that you created, you would go to downloads, and all of the pictures that you clipped are going to show up here in downloads. So the Crayons team pretty much uses the Matterport pictures for all of our listings. So to me, that says a lot because Jeff and Melissa are really particular about what the listings look like. And I figure if these pictures pass their test, these are probably pretty good pictures. I know you can probably do better if you hire a professional photographer, but for an everyday listing, which most of our properties are, these pictures are great. They're great quality. They're big enough that they don't show up like postage stamps, but you would just click, I always download them all, and then hit the download button. And then maximum pixels is defaulted, and that's what I stay with. And then I hit accept. And so when I do that, then I get an email within just a minute or so from Matterport that says my file is ready to be downloaded. And so you just click on that file, it downloads a zip folder, you double click it, and all your pictures are there. It's very wonderful. It is really, really nice. So you also get these little short videos that you can post. I don't usually use, but you sure can. This is a nice little quick video that the program just makes on its own. They're pretty limited. You can't change them. But if you wanted to showcase a nice kitchen, that would be a way to do that. You can't pick where it shows, where it, what room it does, but they just make them on their own, and it's just a little added feature. So this is a long one. It's a little over a minute. I guess that's what that says. No, 11 seconds. Okay. But you just download them and then you could use them. So that's pretty much it. You can always go in and look at your stats, and it'll tell you how many people have looked at it. Probably should show you how to share it. So if you go to this in the upper right hand corner that says share, you click that, and you would go over here to options. And for matrix, you're going to want to either use unbranded or MLS ready. They're exactly the same, so it doesn't matter which one of those you use. And then you just click it, and then hit copy link. And then in matrix, you post that. Let's see if we can get into that quickly. Yeah.
Oh, I hit it again.
Okay. Huh? Okay.
Oh, weird.
Oh, brother. Okay. Phoebe. And then the password. Okay, and hit login. So I've got my link on my clipboard because I hit copy the link. So go into Matrix, and eventually I'll show you where you can paste that. I'm gonna get a different computer in here. This one's terrible.
Need that Jeopardy music. I'm gonna get like one of those. Yeah.
Okay, so find your listing that is on. And that was Merlin. That's our newest listing, so click on that. And go to edit. And then input. And then go over to remarks. And scroll to this area, and you'll see where it says virtual video tour, yes or no. You're going to want to click on that drop down box and click on manually. You want to enter it manually, and then you'll click in this box and you'll paste that link in there. You'll see that we've also pasted it in the branded tour box. It's the same link. We paste the same one in because if we ever have to clone this listing, this saves us a step. Because when you clone a listing, the unbranded tour won't show up, but the branded one will. And then our listing coordinator, Carrie, can just copy that, paste it right back up in there, and she doesn't have to go searching for it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's just a little shortcut. So as long as you've done that, and then if you filled in all the details and you want to share it on Facebook or Google or wherever you're advertising, you can click on the branded link, copy the link, and then paste it in your Facebook page. And when someone clicks on it, they're taken to the address for that tour, and you'll see, because it's branded, it's got our name on it. And then once it loads, you'll see our little box up here.
Has cramps in it.
Yes. Yep. And it says learn more. You can click on that, and that's a link that will take you to our website where this listing is. They can see how it is and so on and so forth. Yeah. So you can also, it's got the floor selector, the dollhouse view, and so forth. So that's really the crux of the Matterport. I'm always available. If anybody has any questions, you can call me. I'm here more than I'm at home. So you can call me and be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Does anybody have any questions? Maybe we just click on that little chat box down there.
Which
no,
one?
All the way over in the other corner. Yeah,
Right here?
Just see if anything.
Okay.
What does it mean when it states unique visitors?
I don't know. I have no idea what that means.
If I know correctly, if it's anything like what Facebook and YouTube does, the unique visitors, is somebody who just like randomly finds you online through
Okay.
links and stuff, and it's like several links that they click on to get to like your whatever. So it's kind of just like people who uniquely find you out of the blue, basically.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that means, but yeah, you're welcome. But good question. I'll try to find out the answer to that, Margaret, and let you know, because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, if you have a client that says, you're not marketing my property well enough, what are you doing? You can pull a report from Matterport, you can pull a report from Zillow and Realtor.com and your lead street report, and it just makes it look like you're doing a ton of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The more reports that you have. So I always pull a Matterport report because it looks impressive.
Awesome.
Anybody else? Okay.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you guys, and thanks so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, let us know.
Bye.
Bye.
That was easy.